7 conspiracy theories about Marilyn Monroe's death. From murderous Kennedys to UFOs. Marilyn Monroe, Norma Jeane Mortenson, born June 1st, 1926, died on August 5th, 1962. Marilyn Monroe was an American actress and model. Famous for playing comic dumb blonde characters, she became one of the most popular sex symbols of the 1950s. Although she was one of the top actresses for only a decade, her films grossed $200 million by the time of her unexpected death in 1962. She continues to be considered a major popular culture icon. When Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her home in 1962, it was ruled a probable suicide by authorities. The 36-year-old star of films like The Misfits and Some Like It Hot had a history of mental illness and substance abuse, and her body was surrounded by pills. However, conspiracy theories about her death have swirled ever since. She was famously rumored to be sleeping with President John F. Kennedy, but later rumors claimed she was also having an affair with JFK's younger brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy. Theory number 1. She was killed by Robert Kennedy to cover up their affair. Frank A. Campbell, in 1964, the theory states that Monroe was indeed sleeping with Robert Kennedy, but got too attached, and he had her murdered to protect his career. Campbell also accused the Kennedys and several other people who knew of Monroe being a communist spy. Theory number 2. She was killed by Robert Kennedy for knowing too much. Rock journalist Anthony Scaduto, in his 1975 book, Who Killed Marilyn Monroe? The theory claims Monroe had kept a diary filled with incriminating information she overheard from the Kennedys, and Robert Kennedy had killed her when he found out. The theory also managed to shoehorn notorious Union leader and Kennedy foe Jimmy Hoffa. Theory number 3. She wasn't killed by Robert Kennedy, but he staged her death and suicide. Tabloid journalist Anthony Summers' theory, from his 1985 book, Goddess: The Secret Lives of Marilyn Monroe. Summers claimed first that after Robert Kennedy broke off their affair, Monroe threatened to go public. Supposedly, Kennedy and his then brother-in-law, Peter Lawford, enabled her growing drug and alcohol addiction. Summers claims Monroe accidentally overdosed, but died on the way to the hospital, so Lawford, Kennedy, and FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover staged her death and suicide. Theory number 4. She was killed by the CIA to hurt the Kennedys. In the book, Victim: The Secret Tapes of Marilyn Monroe, Matthew Smith claims that the CIA knew Monroe and Robert Kennedy were having an affair and killed her to get back at the Kennedy family for the Bay of Pigs invasion disaster. Theory 5. She was killed by the Mafia to hurt the Kennedys. The book Double Cross claims that Monroe was accidentally murdered on the orders of Chicago Mafia boss Sam Giancana. According to the authors, Chuck and Sam Giancana, Sam's brother and godson, she was killed to make Robert Kennedy back off his crusade against the mob. Theory 6. It was a cover-up by her doctors. No Kennedys this time. Donald Spoto claimed in his 1993 book, Marilyn Monroe, the biography, that her death was an accidental overdose, which happened because Monroe lied to her two doctors about the amount of medication she'd been prescribed. Afraid of the possible consequences, said Spotto, the doctors staged Monroe's death as a suicide with the help of her housekeeper. Theory 7. She was going to expose the truth about UFOs. The latest theory to emerge is probably the strangest. Dr. Stephen Greer, the subject of the documentary Unacknowledged, claims that Monroe was killed by the government because she was threatening to leak classified information about extraterrestrials.